You know, when you think about mobile and you think about what is happening in the world beyond COVID, you know, as I said a moment ago, we're living on these devices. We know that to be true. But I think what's even more relevant is brands that are mastering mobile app experiences are seeing these kinds of gains. Massive opportunity to increase revenue, improve loyalty, drive revenue, and have a repeat experience with customers through mobile app experiences that are done right. And that's really what's at stake here. That's really the opportunity in front of us, because we're living in a critical moment. Yes, we're living in an environment where there's a lot of uncertainty. I think most of us that are either business leaders or living in the world at large realize that there's a lot of uncertainty. Some of it, obviously, we don't have a lot of control over. Some of it we may have control over, and some of it we have a lot of control over. And the moment here is really about understanding how can you, in fact, take advantage of the experience with your consumer to drive through the mobile app lifecycle from acquisition to activation to the retention experience and on to loyalty. Because ultimately, that is where the opportunity is for all of us as we build our business and we look forward into the future. And so the facts are that app-based customers drive 3.5 times more revenue than any other channel. And so in fact, that's where the money is. And even beyond that, they come back 3 to 4 times more often than any other channel. So there truly is a huge payoff and payback for focusing your investment and focusing on mobile app experiences. And we think about mobile app as a destination. We don't think about it as another channel. Sure, we do email, we do SMS, we do a lot of other things. But the fact is that the real payoff for brands comes with creating amazing mobile app experiences. And so just to sort of give you a sense of what some of those paybacks could look like, you know, here's a recent revenue result from Nike's public release. Massive growth that they're seeing. The shift over to mobile has really been transformative and is now complete at Nike. Chipotle, which is a brand that's becoming more prominent here in Europe. I took a walk from the hotel the other day and whoop, there was a Chipotle. Chipotle is another great example of a brand that's been investing in mobile and driving a massive uptick in sales through the mobile app experience and shifting offers into the mobile app to drive people into either order ahead or into the store in order to, what I like to say is get the good stuff. If you like guacamole, go into the app because that's where the good stuff is. It's in the app. And you're going to hear from Kingfisher in a little while. You're going to hear their story about creating amazing mobile app experiences and driving the kind of results that we're seeing from Kingfisher on an ongoing basis. So across the spectrum, across industries, we're seeing financial results follow the investment in mobile app experience. And we're seeing the commitment to mobile transforming these brands and giving business leaders the opportunity to stand up in front of their investors and their constituents and demonstrate the large impacts associated with investing in mobile app. We think about mobile really kind of in 2 distinct phases. We think about life before download, and we think about what could the experience be. And when you hear from Dave earlier, you're going to hear a lot about what happens in the acquisition phase and how important it is for you as a brand to recognize and understand what is happening around app search in the app stores. It's vital for you to understand that because it's not just about your brand, it's not just about what you're doing around app store optimization, it's what your competitors are doing in the app store around app store optimization and search terms. And by understanding that, you can truly begin to understand how you can position your brand to people that may not be familiar with your brand or may not know your brand or may not understand the attributes of what you have to offer. So that's really what life before download is about. And then for those of you that have been around Airship for a while, you know historically we've been very focused on life after download, helping you move those customers through the app lifecycle, help you move them from activation into retention, the ongoing sort of ownership experience of apps, and then to loyalty, where hopefully they come back and they revisit and they buy 3 or 4 times more, as the stat I showed you earlier. And so historically, that's what we've been very focused on. And the reason we've focused on this is because there's a lot of information that points to it's pretty challenging. It's challenging to do this well. So the good news is that downloads are up year after year, and they're up kind of higher than ever. The bad news is that retention is flat, and the ability to get people to stay is more challenging than ever. And you can look at some of the stats here, demonstrate that this is a big challenge for all brands. And getting this right and solving for this is a very vital part of getting a return on investment for your mobile app experience. And what happens through this life cycle is there's this idea of a chasm of no return, where people download your app and then 7, 14, 30 days, they leave and they never come back. So how can you address the chasm of no return, and how can you really demonstrate an ability to bring people in that are the right customer profile, move them through the mobile app experience and the life cycle, and retain them so you can get to the benefit of the revenue and the growth opportunity. And you can see here, there's an extraordinary drop-off that happens. And even in the first green column, the results still even aren't phenomenal. They're all basically, by and large, under 30%. But the drop-off of up to 65% through 30 days is just huge. And you think about the cost of acquisition remains high, and to lose that much of your audience within the first 30 days, knowing they aren't going to come back, is a big challenge. And so Airship is about helping you address and solve that challenge. This is why we're in business. And we look across the entire app lifecycle, from acquisition to activation to to retention to loyalty. We have a set of solutions across the life cycle designed to address each of the phases of the life cycle. There is no other provider in the industry that optimizes the entire mobile app life cycle as Airship does. And this is why we're here. This is why we're in business. This is what we're all about. And we have these kind of 2 core elements that you're going to hear more about this afternoon from. The App Store optimization element, which I already mentioned, that Dave will cover, and then Mike Herrick will share with you more about the Airship AXP, or App Experience Platform, which is really designed to help you create amazing mobile app experiences and do it in a low-code, no-code manner. So your time to value and your time to market is dramatically compressed when you adopt the AXP platform as part of your solution set. And so we think about ASO leading to mobile app experience as really the handoff, if you will, from acquisition all the way through retention. And the moment is really now, because we live in a real-time world. We live in a mobile world, and we live in a world where the speed of mobile is very, very challenging, because our customer's mindset and our customer are already on to the next thing. And if we can capture their imagination, we get them to just pause and stay with us just for that moment, maybe we can inform, educate, and teach them something about our brand and what really matters in order to create that ultimate loyal experience. And to us, as we think about this, the biggest challenge we hear, and Tom will talk a little bit about this as well, one of the biggest challenges we hear is access to resources. I have all these ideas, I want to accomplish all these things, and yet my resources are all full up. My roadmap is multi-month or maybe a year long. I can't get access to the developer or the resources I need to make the updates, the changes, or the innovation I want inside my app in order to deliver on the value that I've been speaking about here this morning. And so we've brought to market a platform specifically designed to give you a low-code, no-code approach to creating native mobile app experiences, no coding required. So really empowering mobile product owners, marketers to be able to create these experiences right on the platform and bring them right to market. No app store review. They go straight out into your mobile app. Obviously, there's testing and other things that Mike will talk about. But now, the speed of mobile is now matched with a platform that enables you to go very quickly to introduce new and innovative capabilities without having to generate code, without having to rely on developers, and really get in the market to create that time to value moment for your brand.
Life does get better with better app experiences. We know this to be true, right? I mean, I don't know how many apps we've deleted because of frustration. So the good news is there are apps that help us do that. And the question is how can we help you all become one of those? So if you take a look at this chart, what you see along the different segments, those are all app categories, right? And the blue numbers are the average performance of the folks who downloaded who remain after 30 days. You can see in most cases it's somewhere between 10 and 15%. So all the money, all the brand advertising, all the acquisition costs that you spent to get people to download your app, only, on average 10, 12% of them remain, after 30 days. However, the green chart in each of those categories represent the top performers that are 2, 3, sometimes 4 times better at retaining those customers that found out about the app, downloaded it, and are now actively using it. So we're going to hear stories today. Tom Grell's going to talk about a story about how those first moments are really critical. Rusty from Forrester is going to talk about how every moment is an experience and you need to master those moments. So that's really what today is about. It's to hear from our customers who have broken through and are beginning to really master mobile app experience. We like to say we've been in this business a long time, and we like to say that no one knows more, does more, and cares more really about helping you all master mobile app experiences. That's not just about creating a technology platform, and it's not just about creating a team of people who can help guide you. We also like to be able to give back to you, right? To help you internally. And so as you can see on this slide, there are a few things that we've created for you that I'll talk about. The first is, if you're on this journey and you're trying to master anything, you have to know where you're at. You have to self-evaluate. And so we have something that I'll expose to you today that's freely available to all of you to use to understand what your starting point is. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. What does the app say when you order an Uber or a Lyft? What's your current location? This is effectively a GPS system for you to understand what your current really capabilities are. The second is, you need to map where you're going, right? Just as we see a map in those apps, on those transportation, services. The same thing is available for you, and I'll talk about that. The third thing is we all need to understand more about our customers. We're desperate to know more. So we're going to hear a lot about personalization, individualization. How do we master these moments, which are all mini experiences? But how do we do that in an environment where data compliance, where data privacy is really challenging, and we have to make sure that we're compliant and we're doing it the right way so that the customer and the brand are having this mutual exchange of value in a respectful way. And ultimately, as we heard before, you need to do more. You can't wait. You can't wait 6 months for your SDK or what have you to get updated so you can do the things that we're going to talk about later that you wish you can do right now. You have to do it today. So I'll give you some information here that maybe can help get others to say, maybe we should update it more. All right, so the first one I talked about is to know where you are. So what you see here is a mobile app experience maturity assessment. So what it's doing is it's actually categorizing where you are against 4 different stages of maturity. We're looking at six levels of criteria to help you self-evaluate. And what you get from this is you get an evaluation. It tells you where you are. It also has some recommendations on things you should do next. Not like what you should do forever, but what you should do next, and the kind of value you can receive from that. So this is available to you. You can, on your agenda, should you have the agenda, if you don't, we have some more in the back. On the agenda is a QR code. If you click into that QR code, right away today, tonight, tomorrow, you can take the self-assessment and share it with your teams. So the second thing is, how do you map your roots to value? So Brett talked about, like, there's good stuff in the app, and for companies that are reporting earnings, they're very proud of what they're doing. Like, it's so important that it's in their earnings calls. Their CEO and CFO are talking about that. What are your roots to value? Like, have you really thought them through? Besides the tactical things, what are the strategic things that you need to do? And here is a value map. And it literally is a roadmap on how to create and then capture the opportunities available to you. The opportunities that will be about driving revenue, the opportunities that are about saving money, driving profitability, and the opportunities available to you to mitigate risk. So what you have here are opportunities, strategies that bring those opportunities to life, the initiatives that'll bring the strategy to life, and the critical capabilities that are required to do that and how to measure that. This also is available to you. We have printouts of this today. It's a bit of a blueprint, but I'm telling you, having done this many times before, there's magic in this. What it does is it aligns your teams on the same strategies. If you're over here on the right and you're trying to get budget for an investment because it's a critical capability you need to get an initiative done, you can map that initiative back to a strategy and point to the value that that will create. If you want to get to an executive and say, how can we be like Nike or Kingfisher or others, you can go from left to right. The third thing is about knowing more. We're desperate to know more about our customers. We have to do this in the right way. So there's 2 things that we've done. There's this ebook that establishes these practical privacy ways that you can think about. There's 8 of them. They're very fundamental and they're very simple. We've also created, we are creating soon, a trust center on our website that can help you understand the crazy laws that exist across borders, right? They're different from continent to continent. So how do you understand them? How do you know that you're compliant? How do you know when you're trying to acquire customers, you're doing it in the right way? How do you know that you're actually getting first and zero-party data in the right way? This booklet will help you, as will the Trust Center. This is also available on the back of that agenda with the QR code. It's on our website as well. And the last thing is you need to do more, right? So ultimately, how can we help you convince others to do more, to invest in that? And so we created a study, and we said, well, what are developers and engineers saying are their priorities? Oh, and what are the product and marketing teams saying are their priorities? And are they the same? Well, the title says, yeah, we're not surprised that they're not. There's really good data in here that you can use to help others understand, I need to move faster. Just look at this. This is a lot like us. So this data is available to you. So this is what the back of the agenda looks like and what the QR codes are for you to access all of this information. And it's our way of helping you to ultimately deliver on this very, very important promise.